The smaller and more economically perilous of the sister nations in Iberia is the nation of Portugal. Having recently gone through a civil war between absolutist and liberal factions, the latter having won, Portugal finds itself a nation without much centralized power. On account of that, an age of devourers has consumed the nation. Rich administrators and aristocrats are buying up the nation at discount prices thanks to a corrupt cabinet, and Portugal's first goal in Victoria III is to end this reign of the devourers. Afterwards, Portugal has free reign to reach as far and wide as it wishes. That could mean looking east to Africa and Asia, or perhaps west to reunite the kingdoms of Brazil and Portugal. But in this playthrough, we won't be letting the arbitrary letters on the compass determine our fate. Portugal will be looking in as many directions as it can, until there's nothing more to see but itself. Well, we'll get there. First, I just wanted to make sure I could pursue some African colonization without going bankrupt. So we have to pay off our debt, and while we have the reign of the devourers, we get this modifier, the devorismo, which takes away some of our government expense. It forces us to privatize, minus legitimacy, a lot of bad stuff. Okay, so how do we get rid of the debt? Is we just ask Britain to take it on, but it can be difficult to get them to agree to that because we're already giving them a lot of stuff here through the Treaty of the Quadruple Alliance. So we're just going to renegotiate this, and we're going to take off everything, and we're just going to add military access because it's a very cheap thing they'll just accept. So we're going to send that right away. We're not going to build anything yet because we need to make sure that we're not taking on any like additional debt when we get our debt paid off. Okay, now we're going to ask him to take on our debt like this, and we're going to give him everything that he wants, like so. We'll even ask for all this stuff too because I don't know why not. We could even get him to give us some resources maybe, but that'd be kind of expensive projects. We're not going to bother. We could maybe offer him some wine as like a way to make a little bit of money, maybe like 40 of it. Sure, something like this. Now he's going to accept giving up, like taking on our debt. So okay, Psycho's gone. Okay, I'm going to turn off the webcam while Psycho's not here, by the way. There you go. So we're going to send this over, and now you should take on my debt. He declined it. Okay, this happens sometimes. He just kind of declines it. That means we have to restart because that means he's not. So this is weird. It says he should have accepted, but he didn't. I've seen this happen in my test runs. Sometimes bro just says no, even though he says he's going to accept it. So we're just going to try it again, and hopefully he accepts it this time. I don't know. It makes me look bad when that happens because it looks like I don't know what I'm talking about, but trust me, I've seen it before. We're going to do it again. I guess re-demonstration in case you missed it. Take everything off. Add military access. Send the proposal. Let's try this again. Okay, Bryn, let's try this again. I want you to take on my debt, and in return, I will give you vested rights, public embassy, trade privileges, etc. Hopefully they accept this time. This time they accepted. Great, okay. So now we have no debt, but we have a negative income. So real quick, we're just going to max out taxes and get all the extra taxes that we can. Only because we need to get out of debt in order to finish Devorismo. Or Devourers, whatever. So let's run the game for a second. Let's pick our... I guess we can pick tech. No need to wait on tech. We're going to get banking. We'll talk about our tech ideas in a bit. But give it like a couple weeks, and then there you go. There's the Reign of Devourers over. Which is a very powerful start for Portugal. Because it means you don't have to just sit there taking negative income for like no reason. Now, in terms of the reward, we want to probably grab the loan interest rate down, and now we can actually start playing the game in earnest. So let's drop the taxes back down because we don't actually want to like ruin our nation. We'll take off these consumption taxes. And then, in regards to politics, we're already like suppressing the Miguelists. I think we'll actually bolster liberals. I think we're not going to spend anything on politics as we're kind of okay with the current political setup, except we do want per capita taxation. Now, normally, I like to wait so I can grab proportional taxation or graduate taxation. But with how desperate Portugal's economic situation can be, we kind of need every step that we can get. So we got per capita. Not support the Miguelists. They kind of have the most dogshit ideology in the entire game. They're like autocratic traditionalists that like subjecthood. Like they don't have like any, there's not even one good law here that we would want to use. So there's no way we're supporting the Miguelists. Now if we were like LARPing or something, we could go for the like repealing the banishment law, and then we could like depose the ruling dynasty. You know, there are things we could do, but no, my ass is not going to be doing that because the Miguelists suck. They are not very useful. Economic build. I'm going to put some decrees down in Lisbon because I want to just make some stuff here. And then I also want to put some decrees down in Mozambique because we're going to make our profits out here. Okay, we're going to make our coffee over in Zambezia. In regards to our first buildings, though, we're going to make first 2 bureaucracies. Or rather, maybe just one, because we're gonna have the happy petit bourgeoisie from this new law, so they should actually give us some stuff. The one bureaucracy, one paper, and then lumber, like so. Turn this off. I believe in my practice, sometimes I went for coffee right away, sometimes I went for the iron coal tool. Like I do like one quick, you know, tool, iron, and coal. Sometimes I do it this way. I think we'll do it this way for today. There we go. And also, save yourself some money. Go to Lisbon. Just get rid of this naval fortification. I don't know why we even have this, because if somebody were to try and naval invade us who is worth anything, this won't help us. And it makes a demand of 5 guns and 5 iron, which is surprisingly expensive when the market has, like, nothing in it. So just get rid of that. Not worth having. Now I think we can unpause. I'm probably going to add 1 consumption tax, something like services. And I think we can go from here. I don't think I care to be friends with anyone besides Spain. They're kind of the most important. And we'll talk about Brazil later once we get there. Once we get this paper built, I think we'll have a lot better of a budget. Because obviously the budget's not so good right now, but it's okay. We're not too worried about it. But Portugal, I should say, is it's a slow start, absolutely. Because you kind of just have to deal with the fact that you have like a very small economy. Britain brings us into the power block. We obviously say yes to this because we don't know what they're going to add to the power block yet, but even colonial offices for Portugal is really good. So we want to do that. Now the next step, now that we've kind of settled up with like picking our new law, starting off with a couple buildings in Lisbon, and later on we're going to queue a bunch of coffee down here in Zambezia, we want to start working on our African ambitions. The first of which is going to be to conquer Gaza. Before we do that, though, we need a little bit more of a navy in order to actually even transport a reasonably sized army. So I'm just going to build 11 frigates. Now, it says it'll take like 5 years, but it'll be a little faster than that. We're going to, real quick, we don't necessarily need to like wait on this to build. I want to quickly get rid of our artillery and make everyone into lancers. And we're going to make a little expeditionary force for Africa. Let's get rid of these, wait for these to upgrade to lancers, because lancers are really good early game. Okay, we have 4 now. I'm gonna make a unit, just a small little detachment of 3 infantry and 2 lancers, like so. And we're gonna give this little army a name after we give it a general. We're gonna use Juan Carlos de Saldanha, which I'm gonna try to say things more in the Portuguese way instead of the Brazilian way. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know a lot about how to even tell the difference. I just know that Brazilian people love to end things in a ooh sound. Like it'd be like wow or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Not perfectly certain though. So on account of that, sorry if I get things wrong. Also, I said we're going to use him, but actually we're probably going to use Antonio Jose de Souza Manuel de Noronha instead, because he's got better stats, or rather better traits. We'll use him. But yeah, we're going to mark his home HQ as down here in East Africa. And it's going to take 3 trips to move him down, but that's okay. We'll wait until that's done. Then we'll begin our invasion of Gaza. When we invade Gaza, we get access to the Alemar Africano journal entry, because we'll control at least 1 state down here. And this gives us claims and all that, which we'll use. But the plan is essentially just to like march up the east coast of Africa. So we're gonna like kind of conquer Gaza, then conquer Angoche, then conquer this one, Tungi, then conquer Zanzibar, and then go up into Ethiopia. That's more or less the plan. In regards to tech, quinine, obviously. The total like tech route I want to go down is mostly just grabbing all the tier 2 stuff and trying to get down to military invention as soon as possible. But we'll see kind of like how maybe we'll adopt different strategies as we go. It'll just kind of depend how things go. Here comes our paper mill, by the way. This is going to be big because it'll like probably cut the cost of paper in like half. In terms of other laws, I'm just going to go straight for cultural exclusion. This is just good for migration in general. The big thing about cultural exclusion that's nice is that it gets you enough acceptance for even the most distant pops that they can work in government. So you can have armies that are in colonies, you can have administrations in colonies. It's good to have. It costs authority, but it's very worthwhile. It also means you can get migrants of pretty much any type except for completely unrelated people. So any European, any Portuguese-speaking, non-European, etc. Oh my god, they're on the other side. Okay, whatever. We can just fight. Okay, it's fine. They got put on the other sides of the thing, but it's okay. Anyway, watch this, right? So this is minus 50, but we just win because these guys have no stats. So don't always trust what the game tells you. It's kind of like CK3 when it gives you like the preview of how the battles are going to go. Sometimes that shit is just wrong. You know what I mean? And then once we finish this war, we're going to get claims to Angoche and to Tungi, and we'll continue the war up the coast here. I forgot to add the other war goal, didn't I? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. That's okay, we can... That's fine. We can come back to that later. Just a little bit of a pain that we messed that up, but it happens. Let's begin our trip up the east coast of Africa. I was disappointed to see that Australia defeated Turkey in the World Cup. We hate to see that, but it's okay. I was happy to see the New York Knicks win, though. Now, I'm not going to be like a Knicks larper. Okay, I'm not some kind of long-term fan. I just have friends who like the Knicks, so then I was happy that they got to be happy. I watched the Knicks game in a sports bar with my friends. I did not drink, of course, but I was there just to, you know, have some food and enjoy the atmosphere. The Knicks served it. Yeah, I had one of my friends explain to me like kind of the lore behind like Brunson, because apparently for him this is a very meaningful victory. You know, like he's got a lot of history in regards to trying to win this kind of stuff. So, congratulations to the man. Anyway, next war, we're going to attack... the reason why we attack Mombasa here is that because they're an Omani protectorate, we wouldn't have otherwise been able to attack them while attacking Oman. So that's why we're starting the war with them. I guess we can make the Vintists win, because we are actually, like, you know, getting a Vintist victory. Rare that you see that. Usually the Cardists kind of stay in power for a long time. That's chill. By the way, you may have noticed that Egypt joined this war. They are not actually a factor in the war, because they're not going to do anything. Now, if they join the wars while you're invading stuff in, like, Ethiopia, then you have a problem. But while you're in East Africa, like, you don't have to worry about them at all. So we have all of East Africa like this. It's beautiful. And we're going to keep going up the East Coast. Our only fear is Egypt. That's the only person that can really have a chance against us. So we're just going to kind of hope that they don't decide to screw me as I move into Ethiopia. And even if they do, I mean, we just, you know, accept that we just, like, let them, we just back down if we need to. It's okay. And then we can finish up the conquest of these little dudes. It's okay if we go over 25 infamy. I'm not worried about that. We should be wary of going too high, though. We're not going to go over 50. That would be a bit much. But 25 is acceptable. A little pro tip for you. If you see a European making a protectorate in Africa, and you don't want them to, declare a conquest before they finish the protectorate war. If you do so, then, like, you can conquer it even after they become protectorate, because they can't join the war, like, midway through, right? So it's pretty good. Let's get our army moved over here. Now, despite the fact that we have a much smaller army, notice how this guy, his stats are 2.3 and 2.3. I'm pretty sure that we just win anyway. He's not even putting anybody on the front, goes to show how bad he is. Notice how this guy is now, in fact, a French protectorate. However, France can't intervene in the war mid-war, so we get to conquer it out from under the French, which is beautiful. Now, I'm not going to make a habit of conquering those high infamy West African countries, so we're just going to grab this little piece, and that is a bunch of coffee, so we are glad to have it. We'll definitely be using this quite a bit, but we're not going to be, like, conquering a ton out there. Also, I realized that we forgot to give a name to our little colonial army. So we're going to call this the exercito. How do you pronounce this? Like, is the X in Portuguese like a G or like a traditional X? Like, is it ejercito? I guess in Brazilian it'd be ejercito with that U sound, right? Ejercito Africo. How do you do Africa in Portuguese? I don't even know one. Africano? Can we do that? Like, how about African? Is that going to be Africano? This will be the African army. And we'll give it, like, I don't know, blue? Sure. We do have enough coffee now. Oh, we should also put exploited practices. We have enough coffee now that we can make our company, but of course we're going to, we need to get the tech to be able to do that. Also, I guess we're just spared from the Springtime of the Peoples. Is this, like, a thing? Did Portugal just not go through this? Because we're not, it's like the journal is active, but it's not... Yeah, I guess Iberians aren't in it? Okay, I didn't realize that it didn't affect Iberians. I would have thought that we would also be doing that, but I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know if Iberia had those, those, like, 1840s riots or whatever, like the rest of Europe did. Just don't know the history on it. The whole 1840s period is really interesting, because it's the genesis of so many different ideological beliefs, but I don't know anything about the period, sadly. It's like my total history knowledge gap there. So we can definitely make more construction, and I'm thinking we're going to swap to iron construction, but not quite yet. So this coffee should make pretty okay profits, and we can probably create some trade centers and stuff too to kind of help out. I want to check quickly on that Macau treaty port and see how the employment's looking. I guess it looks like actually, okay. So pro tip for people that are trying to play Portugal. If you want to do trade in Macau, put a dang decree over here that makes so that they get some literacy, because then you can actually employ here, which is great. So I'm thinking, you know, we should actually do, like, we should trade a bunch of coffee into China, probably. Although they're gonna mostly be, well, they probably won't be importing much coffee, actually, will they? But maybe they will eventually. We can put a subvention, try and make it happen, perhaps. Let's put down like 13 more centers there. And I think I will just throw a subvention on the coffee, because it'll mostly pay, well, I say mostly, it might pay for itself like a little bit. We'll have to see. I don't think it, honestly, I'm not sure that it will, but maybe. Market unification is interesting. Being able to join the British market's kind of crazy. That will probably be good for us overall, so yes, we are looking forward to that. Number 2 coffee producer, catching up to Brazil, slowly but surely. There's market unification. Beautiful. That means I'm going to swap over to iron construction, because we can definitely, like, now we have the materials for it. And we should see demand on this go way higher, because now it's going to be pops in Britain. But we can't set, you know, subventions anymore, but it's okay. So being in the British market is really good. We're probably going to eventually get kicked out of it. I don't imagine we'll be staying in the British market. But while we're here, we're happy to be here. After this coffee gets built, I think I want to go and build up a bunch of universities. That's going to be the plan next, is like paper plus unis. Now, I don't want to make my economy too dependent on Britain's. So we're going to be careful about how much we use Britain's stuff, because we probably are going to get kicked out eventually. I don't imagine we're going to be staying in this union forever. So, yeah. There's our plantation fellowship. We're going to, real quick, do the wheel. Who gets the company, folks? Let's go on a Yankees fan. Now, I know we gave him a company last stream, but if the wheel says he gets it, the wheel says he gets it. So, oh well. Anyway, let's rename this now. First of all, who's the leader? We have a Royalist Intelligentsia, Teofilo da Costa. Again, sorry if I'm not saying it right. I don't know the pronunciation super well. Espresso Americano Portugal Coffee Company. Well, I guess I probably should get the guy's name in there. Let's go Yankees fan, Americano Portugal Coffee Company. Or I guess it should be Portugal Americano Coffee Company? I don't know. Perfect. There we go. Now hopefully they will do well. We're gonna give them Monopoly, perfect. Get them investment rights in case we ever do want to use that. But there we go, perfect. What I'm gonna do right now, actually, I'm gonna get off of health. I'm gonna get off charity hospitals and try to go to public healthcare if I can. Fear of generation already. Okay. I forgot. I didn't realize that was gonna happen so early, but this is fine. We're gonna have a lot to do. Yeah, it's gonna be a while till we can actually do any of this. So, when it comes to resolving this, we just need to complete these. So for public works, we need to get electric telegraph, which is gonna be a while. We have to get a railway in every incorporated state. Public trams, yeah, that's not a problem. Okay. Then for countryside, we need to get, you know, this is the same thing as what Spain has, basically, where you just make all of your buildings use fertilizers and stuff. Funny that this is an interesting reward. The rural folk will more likely generate modernizer characters. Like, by the time that if you manage to pass this, then you already have probably modernized. I don't know what, it's not really much point to that. Then we can also get national institutions, more education, bureaucracy down. Okay. We'll figure that out later. Then we complete the whole journal entry. We get all this stuff. Bunch of cool stuff. Get legacy regeneration. That's really good. Okay, cool. She's not really in a good spot for the camera, but I mean, like, she's kind of just like on the edge of its viewing range. Okay, no, she's okay. Never mind. We can get in there. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Like a beautiful cat cam. She's looking right at you, chat. How do you feel? Well, she stopped now, but she was for a little while. Because now I have no healthcare. I'd like to swap that out for public healthcare now, though. Boom. We love public healthcare. Are we actually doing any like trade of coffee? Not really. Okay, that's fine. But so we can make a lot of money off of the trade here. What I might even do, let me give you like trade rights. Although maybe let's not give it to the coffee. They're probably going to have plenty of prosperity on their own, actually. I was going to say maybe we'll give it to a different company that might have trouble getting prosperity in the future. The company that I want to make alongside this current one is the Ethiopia Railway Company, which I forget the name of off the top of my head. The Imperial Ethiopian Railway Company. So to make it, I need to have in East Africa a railway when there's also... So 5 railways in a place with 5 coffee, which East Africa, I believe, includes Zambezia. Right? Let's just check that. Yes, it does. So that means that we can actually just throw down like 5 railways here once we actually research rails. Anyway, we have to wait on that, but yes, we can make that company. So that company is the reason why I want it. Its prosperity bonus is more coffee throughput. So it's like, oh, okay, perfect, right? Oh, is someone invading Benin? Hold on, are you getting turned into a protectorate maybe by France? Yes, they are. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cuck France again like we did before with Oyo. We're gonna conquer Benin out from under France. We have an engineer for a leader, by the way, which is really nice because you just get 5 construction points for free, which is kind of insane in the early game. Now I'm going to wait a bit till we conquer more because I want to make Egypt not join the wars against me potentially. So we're going to improve relations, let our infamy come down, and then we'll conquer the rest of Ethiopia. In the meantime, we did unlock railways. So to get the Imperial Ethiopian Railway Company, we have to make 5 railways in East Africa in a place that has at least 5 coffee. So we're going to throw down 5 railways down here into Zambezia, and then we'll make the railway company. Here comes the reserve coffee. Now I have a particular name to give the prestige coffee because normally I don't give them names that often, but this time I have a name prepared, okay? There's a famous kind of coffee from Lisbon, if I remember correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong on this. There's a famous coffee from Lisbon called Bika, if I remember right. It's like, I'm gonna have to wait a sec for the button to pop up, but it's like, it stands for Bebe isto com azúcar, which is like drink this with sugar because apparently it's very bitter. Remember right? Now I only read like a small Wikipedia article about it, so I don't know a lot about it, but essentially it's the origin of the name is actually not quite perfectly understood. Some people say it stands for bebisto com agua, or sorry, not agua, azúcar. But then some people say it comes from like bica as in a spout, so you pour it from like a spout, right? I don't know, I read a couple little things about it, but basically we have a special name for it. There you go. Special Portuguese coffee. Love to see it. That should mean that now we can export it like all over the place for a bunch of money. And in fact, it is making good money. We'd love to see that. We'll make even more out here. Jeez, it's very profitable stuff. And we can expand into, we have these Yoruba states as well. We can make like 90 coffee plantations out here. So we're going to make a lot of money on coffee. And speaking of which, how much investment pool do I have? 8 million? I think we need to start making a bunch of construction and do the construction pausing strategy. Let's make some construction out here. Pro tip for those that don't understand how to grow the economy faster because they feel limited by the government budget. Investment pool is your true building limit, not your budget. So when we build up all those construct sectors, we think, okay, we can't afford this. Look at the budget, right? That's too much of a deficit. What you're going to do is you're just going to like pause your construction once you get a little too much debt. So I'm just going to pause real quick, and then we'll let the private sector, you know, build stuff. But they're just going to build coffee all day, pretty much. So we let it pause, we have our debt, and it's going to cost our investment pool. But while this is being built, we are paying off our debt. So that once we're out of debt, we can unpause again and continue building our railways. Essentially, we're just making a little private economy kind of thing. But this lets you grow your economy much larger than what you would think if you're letting yourself be limited by the budget instead of the investment pool. It's one of those mechanics that I always complain about whenever I do Vic 3 analyses or reviews, where it's like, bro, this investment pool needs to be highlighted way more in regards to its role as your actual economic limiter. But it's fine. It's fine. I love complaining, folks. Kind of a complaining type of guy. Regardless, let's continue conquering Ethiopia. We have Eritrea. So Egypt probably won't join. They're cooperative with Ausa, though. Maybe they're not cooperative with these other dudes. We want to find someone okay, they're definitely going to join this guy. How about against Gojam? Definitely. Okay, they really want to protect these dudes. Because we don't want Egypt to join, because they would probably defeat us. Then we just wait till we're friends. I mean, we could try to even get a defensive pact, and then they can't, like, try and destroy us. I wish Egypt had content. Tarkus, please join me on Political Party Demands in Africa DLC. I completely agree, personally. Egypt in this period, so when I was in university, I took a course about, like, the Ottoman Empire in the modern era, and that obviously covered Egypt and stuff, and we learned about, like, not this guy, but this guy's dad, Muhammad Ali, not Ibrahim. But we learned about, like, the way that Egypt essentially, like, we learned about the way that Egypt became cucked to the British and the French through them effectively getting Egypt into a bunch of debt and then turning Egypt into, like, through the the need to reclaim like the interest payments on the debt that they had taken on, and through their modernization programs and stuff, Britain and France ended up like having immense influence over Egypt, and that's how you end up with like eventually Britain kind of ruling this whole ass area. It's basically entirely economic is how they pulled that off, from my understanding anyway. And that's just like not stimulated in Victoria 3 like at all. Like if you control 95% of Egypt's GDP, you can't do anything with that like at all. It's kind of disappointing, but it's whatever, bro. Who cares? Nobody asks. But there's a lot of interesting stuff with regards to Egypt and its modernization efforts in this period, where they were trying to be like Western. They're kind of like Japan in that way, I guess. They had that sort of that push to become Westernized that Japan also went through in its period in the Meiji Restoration. It should be noted that in 1882, there was an actual war between Britain and Egypt. However, that war began as a result of Egyptian nationalists attempting to overthrow the immense European influence over Egypt itself, which was caused by the economic failings of the Khedivate. When I was talking about Britain taking control over Egypt, I was referring to the period before 1882, where French and British capitalists essentially took control of Egypt's economy and by extension held massive influence over the nation itself. I do not mean to imply that Britain took over Egypt without firing a single bullet or something. As with most European colonialism, much death ensued to ensure dominance. By the way, we gotta pick a name for this company, so we're gonna pull out the wheel. Who's gonna get this company? Let's see. These are the channel members, by the way. Thank you, channel members. I appreciate all of you very much so. So it goes to Tomok, one of our highest tier members. That's why he has 4 entries in the wheel. Very nice. Coffee Transportation Company. I don't know. That's so stupid. I wish I made better names, man. Because the idea behind it is that they give a coffee throughput bonus and we have coffee. So it's like, yeah, they're transporting the coffee around, I guess. But like, what a dumb name. I don't know. Sorry. If there's any better names in chat, feel free to volunteer them and I will steal them without giving any credit whatsoever. Looks like Walega conquered the other dude that was here. I can just annex you for 8 infamy. Egypt could join. What's your government ideology? Okay, it's pretty much the exact same as ours. Actually, it is the exact same, so that's good. We have the same ideology. I want to finish up this conquest of Ethiopia, but Egypt is just scary, is the problem. Even though we're friends. Could we potentially get a defensive pact? There's like no shot. What about if I do the classic false army strat? What if we just make a bunch of conscripts that aren't actually real? Everyone loves the fake army strat. Does that make you a little more likely to accept? Yeah, okay. So what we could do, if we really want to make sure he doesn't get involved, is we pay him £6,000 and owe him an obligation. And then he can't fight us. For 5 years, 6,000 a week is a lot of money. It's a little bit much, but we don't really want to slow down our conquest train. I guess in the meantime we conquer other stuff. Like we conquered the Marina Kingdom. Yeah, that sounds okay to me. Egypt might join them too. Damn, okay, Egypt. Maybe we can wait and see if Egypt gets in some kind of problem. We can also conquer Sidamo. Egypt's unlikely to join that. Okay, sure. We're taking on a little bit too much debt, I think. Like maybe we're being over ambitious with the current construction, but I just really want to get the I really want to accelerate my growth here. So if we pause, we still have minus 2k, but once the war ends, I think we'll be okay, because right now we're paying for the cost of the army. We're a little bit out of range. You can put some consumption taxes on. Also, once we enter great power status, that should get us less interest rate. Because right now we're paying, what, 10%? That's pretty bad. We could try to make the petit bourgeoisie happy. But there's not really anything that they would like. Free trade is okay. Protection is okay. I guess police. I'm okay with passive dedicated police. It's kind of just good all around, so sure. That'll drop the interest rate. And then I think we'll tick into... There it is, great power. So now our interest rate's only 6%. Much better. How's the coffee plantation doing? 35k, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. If only we had slavery, so then we could do violent treatment. This would be like, look at the increased profits. It'd be crazy if we had slavery right now. Alas, we're stuck on colonial slavery. We could try to go for slave trade, but it's just that everyone, even the landowners, would oppose it. Like, nobody wants this. Why is that? Why do you not want it? Are you not pro-slavery? I guess they like colonial slavery the most. Okay. Well, damn. Oh well. Gotta make sure the British also like me, because they're gonna eventually kick me out of the power block, but we want that to happen as late as possible, if, you know, if we can. Let's get a defensive pact with Britain. So that way we can stay friends for hopefully as long as possible. They don't want my ships. Is that because they're outdated? Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Don't want to give you investment rights. I would hate that. Okay, I'm going to pay you like £1,000. That's fine. Yeah, 1,200, 1,100. There you go. Look at that. Basically £1,000 to get an alliance. Yeah, sure. Or defensive pact. That should make it so they're much less likely to ever want to kick me out. Also, damn, Prussia's making moves here. They have, so they have the Alsace-Lotharingen, but they haven't actually made the German Federation yet, or the North German Federation. Also, Free Burgundy, is it a republic? It is a republic. Technocratic, wow, they're like a, this must have been a positivist revolt. This must have been, yeah, positivists. A nihilist, okay, it was a nihilist revolt, but the ruler is South German, but then the culture is French. Very interesting nation, just like, imagine if there were to be, like, you know, this happened in history, like this independent Burgundian republic, ruled by like a German dude, and it's like a technocracy, it's like an atheist technocracy. This would be a crazy piece of lore to read about on Wikipedia. I love just paying people to, this is like the meme of, I'm gonna pay you, you know, $50 to F off or whatever, right? That's basically what we're doing here. Only for 5 years. We don't want to, like, we don't want to be friends with this guy forever because we want to invade him later. But now that we have that, we can invade the rest of Ethiopia without needing to worry about him ever getting involved. So, perfect. Got some Italians moving into Lisbon now. Good. Love to see that. We do also have a lot of Africans here. Some Yoruba, Swahili, Kavango Bantu, Lakistrine Bantu. Good. Pops are pops, man. Doesn't matter where they're from. Love to see that. Okay, it looks like Alsa did back down. That's okay. Give it 5 years and we'll take that last piece. Part of me wants to just go straight from land prevention. So we get human rights, then go straight... Actually, human rights, socialism, then land prevention. Socialism for the extra tax law. That's why I want to go for that. Are you going to pay all that debt? Simple. I would simply click this button right here, and then I can pay off my debt. That's all you have to do. Now, the investment pool... it's almost breaking even, so we can actually just maintain this balance. So that's pretty nice. And we are using all of our construction, as you can see, so we're not losing construction off this, we're just giving it off to the private sector. Okay, so we have an interest here now. Let's... How much would it cost to annex you? 7 infamy to annex all of Transvaal. Yeah, I'm doing that. Holy... Easy clap. Where's my army? There it is. Jeez, I thought it would be way more because they're not unrecognized. They are recognized, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe it would be a little bit much, but it's all good. I do enjoy... There's something funny about the general who's going to conquer, like, Africa is a market liberal. So he's just like, bro, it's the free market. The free market demands that you get conquered, and he just, like, invades you. The invisible hand is pulling the trigger. Sorry, bro. Yeah, exactly. The invisible hand is pulling the trigger is a good line.
You may have also noted that this general's home state is Zambezia, meaning he's sort of like a Portuguese version of a Boer invading a Boer state himself. If I were to assign him a title in Portuguese, I guess we could call him a boadeiro, which is a Brazilian Portuguese term for a cowboy or a frontiersman, akin to the same English term or to a gaucho from Spanish. But I think as we're playing Portugal, the term that would make more sense would be the vaqueiro, which is analogous to the Spanish term vaquero. The word vaquero today is the origin of the English word buckaroo, and although vaqueros are mostly known for their folklore in places like Mexico and the southwestern United States, the practice of herding large cattle runs in dry lands does originate first in Spain's dry south, from which it then spread to the New World later. All this to say, our Mozambique Portuguese market liberal general conquering the Boers is ironic.
Unfortunately, Philippopolis ended up becoming a puppet of Britain, so we're not going to grab Philippopolis. Adam Koch, fucking Dutch names, man. I know he's Griqua, but still, Dutch speaking. Dutch names, my dude. I can't. Also, Zulu just conquered that. Oh, that makes it easy. Now, by the way, when we ban slavery, we are going to lose access to exploiting our workers. Although some might say that all work is exploiting or something like that. I don't know, any woke people in chat? But it's not a big deal. And we're gonna have lair dimension in, what, 20 months? That'll mean we can colonize all of Central Africa. We're gonna be killing it. Anyway, we can make colonial administrations at this point, which is not a terrible idea. We could do East Africa. That'd be a fucking gigantic colony. Oh my god, that would probably be... I think I'd have trouble keeping this loyal if I were to make this, unironically. A lot of my GDP is in Zambezia. Not a lot, okay, not a lot, not a ton, but a portion for sure. How many rivers should I build? I like to build about 60 is usually how I do it. I'm at 51 right now. Let's actually put you to secular, by the way. Good. About 50 to 60 is my range. Also, there's Malaria Prevention. So now we're going to be taking over all of Africa real quick. Very exciting. Also, I think we have the next... Oh, we should be doing our... I haven't done any PMs the whole game, dude. Hold on a minute. My bad. I haven't been setting any of my production methods. Been sitting here on the oldest PMs forever. Love that. Oh my god, I wasn't even on condensing engine pump. Oh, so bad. I've been, in regards to, I mean, this particular aspect of the game, I've just been like throwing. It happens once in a while. Also, get rid of these fortifications. These are like pointless. Yeah, get rid of this crap. There you go. That'll save us some money. Remember, those fortifications are more expensive than you might think. Also, Austria. They've gone communist, it seems. Yes, Council Republic, autocracy, they're vanguardists, I suppose. Under Franz Josef von Habsburg Lothringen, you know, bro just refuses to relinquish power. He's like, the former Kaiser, he's like, bro, listen, I love the revolution. Do not overthrow me. I will lead the revolution. It's a vanguard state led by the Austrian aristocracy. By Christian von Nesselrode, Hugen poet. Does Hugen poet? Does that mean like huge poet? What the hell, bro? That probably doesn't mean that, but that's just funny to me. Also, independent Hungary under Batyani Leos, a market liberal. Okay. Is it just me, by the way, or are there just never any like native uprisings anymore? I feel like I haven't seen one in forever, which is cool with me because I hated that system anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I just haven't seen it in a long time. There's mutual funds, minus interest rate, plus minting, which means I can also work on getting commercial agriculture. Makes everybody happy. Is that because there's a market liberal on the landowners? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Pan nationalism. That means we can start doing Iberia. Sure. I don't know if we will actually make Iberia or not, because I'm not sure if it fits with what we're trying to do. But we'll see. I want to do the Mozambique company. What do I need to build to do that? Can we check the attainable... Because Mozambique company means we can colonize even faster. We need to get 5 cotton in... Okay, it's easy to get. Yeah, so let's just make some... Let's just real quick rush a little bit of cotton over here. I like that we've turned Zambezia into like our little outpost out here, which is cool. We even have... we've even got 50% Portuguese pops here, so we're like settling it, you know? The leader is Abel de França. França? How do you say... The C is just an S when it has the Cedilla on it, right? So Abel de França, he's a modernizer, and we'll of course pick a name from our list of channel members. Here goes. Who gets the company? Let's see. Looks like it's going to Altan Altai. One of our highest tier members. That's why she has four numbers, or rather 4 sections. So cool. Congratulations. Altan Colonial Administration Ministry. I don't know, sure. Something like that. Sounds good. So 50 million GDP by 1880 as Portugal. I think that's like acceptable. I don't know if it's good per se, but it's like, yeah, alright, it's a reasonably okay game. Being part of the British Empire helps a lot with regards to being in a strong market. Also, India went free, it seems, and they stayed mostly united too. Who runs it? Mudaliar Shamukam. Shanmukam. Okay, that's like... It's interesting, that name looks like Shah Rukh Khan. Is this like, you know the famous actor from Bollywood? Nobody fucking knows Shah Rukh Khan, do they? I don't know. He's an actor in the Bollywood sphere. A very famous one. Like, probably the most famous Indian actor is Shah Rukh Khan. We almost have prosperity on our Mozambique company. Once we get it, we'll get even more colonial growth. I would say that our goal of dominating Africa is working quite well. The British do have an inroad here through the fact that they got some land off in South Africa. But... overall, we're doing pretty good here. East Bengal. This is like the most East Bengal you've ever seen. It's like the furthest east. But it's also West Bengal, though. It's also in Baluchistan. Very funny. Very good. Now, once I conquer Sokoto, I can make John Holton Company, I think. I look at do something specific with this campaign. I wanted to conquer, like... I wanted to just kind of make, like, a Portugal playthrough. Like, because I want to make a video out of this, right? Just explain kind of how to play Portugal. But... in theory, I want to eventually get the union with Brazil and with Spain, but it's just that kind of fell to the wayside of other goals so far. But no big deal. Let's go ahead and conquer these dudes. Now, will anyone join? Maybe the United States does, but if they do, I'm not worried because what's their navy like? You have 6-7 ships, 6-7. I'm doing the hands right now, but you can't see it. That would be a problem because they have a lot of ships. But luckily, it looks like they did not join. Only Morocco did. Morocco is not a problem. How's our investment pool? 48 million. Okay, hold on. It's time to build. I didn't realize we had 48 million pounds in the investment pool doing nothing. My bad. Let's build up a bunch of construct sectors, and we'll pause and pay off our debt.
Interesting idea I had upon realizing how often people that play Victoria 3 end up with huge investment pools. Should the private queue be able to queue up construction sectors? Obviously, since construction sectors hire government workers, it'd be weird if the private sector could force the government to hire new people that take from the budget. But maybe construction could have private and government ownership like other buildings? The reason this could be a good idea is that it would make feedback on high-profit buildings more obvious, as if you have coffee plantations with 50,000 pounds of profit, then you'd see your construction increase thanks to the private sector adding more construction. The issue would be that the game would become even more of a brain-off experience than it already can be sometimes. Right now, one of the main forms of skill expression in Victoria 3 is knowing how much construction you can get away with building and how much debt to take based on your predicted economic growth, which is mostly predicted based on your investment pool. If we were to automate that process, well, there wouldn't be much left to really play here, except maybe managing government buildings, I guess. I'll pass the question off to you. If you're someone who's watched this far into the video, then first of all, thank you. But second of all, you're probably enough of a Vic 3 enjoyer that you can have an opinion on the topic. So leave it in the comments, folks.
Oh, it looks like remember when we were looking at that Burgundian separatist thing or whatever with they had technocracy, but they went off of that. They put voting in. But it looks like they've had their own separatist movement, which has maintained the technocracy. So there's kind of like a little mini story going on here where like there was the breakaway positivist movement of Burgundy, which got out of the French Republic, the Second Republic. But they chose to embrace liberalism. They let go of their technocratic origins, and as a result, they've lost control of Lyon along the Rhone River, which now is like, no, we're the real technocrats, okay? And we're racist, by the way. So that's, I don't know, just something funny going on there. I wonder, I should be able to cut Britain off from further expansion in here if I get a claim on Botswana. Let's take a claim on Botswana. There we go. So now, what happens, I already have a claim on South Angola, so Britain's not allowed to colonize here. Then I got a claim on Botswana, so they can't colonize here. So they're gonna get to go deep, like into Herero land as far as they can go, essentially. And then that's like the end of their African colonization. So if we want to ever defeat Egypt, we're gonna have to get the military tech, which I think we're working on right now, right? Yeah, we're working on that. And we got that bonus from the positivist journal entry where now we get even faster research speed. 22% faster tech speed. That's really good. How's our coffee in Zambezia doing? I haven't checked on it in a while. Pretty good. Not as good as I would have liked, but maybe it's doing better in Benin because it's larger. This one's mostly government owned though, but it's okay. I think that fruit really is like the way to go. I just like having prestige goods, but fruit is so much stronger than coffee. It used to be that coffee was like absolutely insano. Like it was crazy how good coffee was. Now it's kind of like, all right, let's just spam down a bunch of fruit over here. Because fruit is going to make so much money. You don't even have a fruit company, but it's just that it doesn't need a company to be good. Do any of these places take fruit, potentially? You take tea, right? Yeah, okay, no big deal. The question now is, once I do get a crazy strong military, do I want to go and try to like take over all of like the Europeans that have land in Africa? Do you want to try and make a completely united Africa? It's not a bad idea. We probably could do it. We'd have to eventually come to blows with Britain. Although part of me wonders how likely it is that I could maybe just like purchase their land in Africa off of them. Sometimes they guys want to do it. So let's say that I wanted to buy something like, where is it? I guess they can't sell their colonies yet. Okay, what if I wanted to transfer subject on South Africa? Minus 229? Like, what if I just paid you like a ton of money? Oh, okay, you only get up to 69. Nice. That'll probably never really happen. I say that. Wait a minute. We can get pretty damn close to just buying South Africa, which is a little bit crazy. Nice thing about spamming out fruit is it won't help the SOL down here in Africa, but it will help SOL back home. Precious, what company? Can we get John Holt? That's the one I wanted to get, right? I was thinking about John Holt. There it is, this one. We need rubber mastication for that. Okay, we'll work on that. This would be nice for plantation throughput, which helps this will help even more with our coffee and our bananas. So let's get rubber mastication. I guess we can priority get that, so we can just get the company going. And then we'll go back to doing all the military stuff. Alright, if we turn on public trams, we can finish public works, which gives us a bunch of loyalists, some throughput. Okay. So let's turn on public trams everywhere. Does it have to be everywhere, or only eligible? That's the only in incorporated states. Okay, well in that case, just turn them on here then. Do we want to get less political activism with loyalists, or do we want to just get state construction efficiency? Let's get the construction efficiency. Interesting. We have an anti-Austrian association with the Social Democrats. Actually, this makes perfect sense. Wait a minute. The trade unions, who are Social Democrats, they do not like the Austrian vanguard state. It's actually historically accurate in infighting of leftists. It actually makes sense. I was going to say, wait a minute, why would they not like the Austrians? They're also communists, because these guys are Social Democrats, okay? They don't like the vanguardists. It makes sense. Check out all the migrants we have in Lisbon, by the way. 500,000 English pops coming in. Lots of migrants. We love that. I've barely even been building over here in Portugal. That's mostly what the private sector's been doing. I assume if we look here, that there actually are a bunch of buildings that there's, well, a bunch. No, actually, not many. Over here, there's lots. Yeah, because this is just my private industry building it up. And we have all these motor industries. Wow, that's great. Huge, dude. 102 grand profits on this. Not bad. Socialist demagogue. Oh, the anarchist agitator. Perfect. Yeah, that sounds good, actually. I think we are going to go multiculturalism eventually. What's his popularity? 60? So what's his chance of becoming leader? It's pretty low, actually. Still, in like 2 years, we can, or 3 years more like, we can give this guy leadership. Although one thing you can do, check this out. If you want an agitator to become a leader, but you're on the cooldown, so you can't appoint them, you can increase the chance that they become leader by giving them command, and then just promote them a bunch. Because every time you promote them, they gain prominence. So it's going to piss off some interest groups. But that's fine. Just promote him anyway. Now his prominence is 75. And you'll notice the chance of him becoming leader should go a little bit higher. Interestingly, not very much. I thought it was going to go a little bit more, but I guess no. I mean, it went up, but I did expect more. Maybe it'll take some time for it to go up. I don't know. To be fair, it's because the waiting for everyone else is so high that it's hard to compete, rather. I guess I understand. So you see here that Britain has, despite having finished like colonizing here, they're not colonizing into San, and it's because I have a claim here. So they're not allowed to colonize here, which is why they're stuck. It's perfect. We do have modern ironclads, so we probably should start making like actual, like a good navy. Let's add some templates. We're gonna go for modern ironclads and just max this shit out. We're gonna have a very big navy, a very powerful navy. 50, let's go 75 iron frigates. And do I want any torpedo boats? Not really. Don't care for them. Got another company. So we wanted to get John Holt and company, but then is there another company we want to get as well? What's currently available? So I do kind of want to just get the paper company. It's hard to say no to just like, here's some paper. But maybe we also want something else. What else is even available? Could be something like Portuguese Mineral Guild, just for like the raw materials. It's kind of hard to say no to that as well. Although it's simple, it's just really good to get a company that covers all of your minerals and stuff. Let's grab that. We're going to give them iron mines. And then, yeah, I don't think we have to give them anything else. See who gets it. This was going to Mutmer, it looks like. Very cool. Congratulations, Mutmer. Thank you to the channel members. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Mineral management. Remember, we're a technocracy, so it's got to be like techie, you know, engineer-oriented. The Mutmer Mineral Management Administration. There you go, look at that. Perfect. 124 grand on government dividends, by the way. Love that. Bananas carrying the economy. But you know what I could do? I could just start releasing administrations. Now I think about it, it's actually not a bad idea. To be clear though, it won't mess with our... Yeah, it's to be colonial country. Yeah. Okay, let's actually just fix this by releasing East Africa. There we go, that gets rid of one of them. Okay, so this we're gonna whip shell crack. We want to get as much value out of these as possible. So that means hopefully they'll turn on violence treatments. Yes, there we go. Now they're making even more coffee. And keep in mind, we own all of their coffee, so it's not like they're getting any value out of that. We're just extracting all the wealth. I don't actually want to give you this, do I? Actually, yeah, sure, why not? What are they gonna do? Buy a couple of my things? Do they make, like, they do make companies. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe they'll buy some stuff and then they'll, like, I mean, they might buy up all my bananas, which is actually a problem. Fuck. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't want them to buy my bananas, but oh well, too late now. Because my bananas are kind of like a big chunk of money for me. But I suppose I could just not mark them as, or, you know, I could actually, could I not, isn't there a button where you mark them as monopolized by the government? I believe that's a thing, isn't there? Let me do that. If I go here and then I click monopolize, yeah, East Africa wouldn't like it, but yeah, there you go. Now they can't buy my bananas. Yeah, look at that. I almost never use that button, but in this case, it's worth using. Yes, we're going to monopolize our bananas. Also increases their price, funnily enough. I forgot that it does that too. We could do another administration. We could do West Africa, but I need to be able to make John Holt, rather. So we have to wait till we discover rubber. We're almost out of debt, by the way, which is cool, I guess. Not that being in debt was a big deal, but it means that we can finish Fortunate Regeneration. Of course, we have threshing machines, by the way. We might want to just quickly grab threshing machines. Yeah, let's quickly grab this, and then we'll get the rest of the military tech. Because that way we can finish our journal entries. Almost done this. This is what we're going to grab. Free Scania is cool. Oh shit, I didn't even notice that. Constitutional duchy. Also, Germany wants to... I don't really care to join your war against Austria. What are you doing exactly? Is he just regime changing? He's transferring the Papal States. The Papal States are a puppet of communist Austria. Okay, dude. Under the Italian vanguard state of Austria. Okay, bro, things are heating up out here, man. Although I guess a free obligation's a free obligation, right? I mean, as long as there's no Britain on the other side. Like, I'll take the obligation and just capitulate out. Unless they add a war goal to me. That'd be kind of sad if they did. Which they didn't, so that's cool. The second this war starts, because there's no war goals on me, so I'm just gonna capitulate. And guess what, bro? I still have the obligation, if I understand correctly anyway. Yes, so we got the free obligation for 10 years. Germany cannot interfere in anything I do, at least in theory. In practice, that tends to actually be what happens. Proven under science, so we can get Brave New World, which is fine. Technocrat ideology is amazing. Or we can get 5% throughput for 10 years. I think I just want the 5% throughput for 10 years, so past that. Now, we could try to get command economy. Do I want to? I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. We can also go corporate state pretty easily. But again, like, I don't know if I'm going to want to or not. We'll think about that, you know, we'll think about that as we play. Alright, I wanted to do multiculturalism next, so we have this anarchist, right? So let's throw him in power. Means now we have much less legitimate government, but we just get rid of the industrialists. No nationalist trade unions, bro. Are you kidding me? Let's go and pass multiculturalism. Nobody wants this, although it should go a little better. Yeah, I mean, everyone opposes it. Why? Everyone's an ethno-nationalist. Oh my goodness. Why is it so... Wow. Prominence with ethno-nationalists is plus 2,000. Who is this highly prominent ethno-nationalist in our country? Oh, it's this... It must be this... Is this guy... No, he must have been the executive who got a lot of... And then through him, there have been more ethno-nationalists spawned. Well, you might be able to just convince people to stop opposing it. If I exile this guy, it's a pretty low chance that it isn't going to be another ethno-nationalist. But let's take the chance. Huge. Okay, that's actually big. That means this is now actually quite doable. I will improve political concessions. I don't want to do that. Oh my god, we could get a fascist movement. Do I want that? Do I really want a fascist movement? I don't know, man. We want to get rid of the monarchy? What do we get if we get rid of the monarchy with second liberalism? The highest calling. Oh, it's this one. It just gives us radicals. Okay, I don't really like that then. Now we can make John Holt and Company, I'm pretty sure. There it is. That's big. And we actually do have John Holt himself, the Englishman. There it is, Mirrored Triumph, finally. Okay. So immigration traction and birth rates. Propose the pink map decision. We're gonna just get prestige. I think let's just get the prestige. I know it's a simple thing, but let's do that. Now let's propose the pink map. What's this? Really? I can't because I've already finished colonizing. Ugh. Bro, are you kidding me? Okay, well, we were too good at colonizing, so we can't continue doing Portugal's stuff. Well, oh well. Man, I love Victoria 3. I just keep saying I love Victoria 3, I love Victoria 3, just never stop saying it. Portugal is not a small country. So true, so true. By the way, we can establish more colonial administration. Just do South Africa at this point. And it will, of course, be a slave colony. It is a victory moment, absolutely. Huge victory moment there. Are these guys all loyal? They should all be totally loyal, because they're going to be completely controlled by... Yeah, the economy is entirely controlled. Yeah, okay, cool. Multiculturalism incoming, hopefully. There it is, nice. Okay, big. Should get lots of migrants now into our capital. Okay, our fleet is ready, by the way. Oh my god, we've made a gigantic fleet. This is such a huge fleet. It has like wait, no, this one. Sorry, this one is the huge one. This is a insane fleet. In fact, I probably should not be making this many ships, but no, you know what? Let's just finish them up. Okay, let's just disband the old fleet, like the one that just has all the wooden ships. Get rid of that. We can keep these. This is our new fleet now. There you go. Perfect. I think we need to start building up like all the resources in South Africa and stuff, don't we? Because we're gonna need like iron, coal, and things. Let's start. You know, getting ready for our economy to eventually split off from Britain's. Like that's gonna happen eventually. So we kind of gotta just accept it. Luckily, we have all this land in Africa where there's just like infinite resources. Not infinite, but a lot of resources. Surprisingly, not as many as you would think, actually. It's not that crazy of like a resource haven, but there is quite a bit. I'm not gonna pretend there's nothing here. I don't know what that... Oh my god, the German fascist revolt? Wait a minute, that's a very special flag, I see. The Volksgemeinschaft is here under Karl von Zähringen. South German. What is it with Germans and having Austrians that become their fascist leaders? I think they're gonna win, looking at the size, by the way. I'm just saying. That's looking like a victory. It's historical. So true, so true. What are their laws exactly? Corporate state, single party state, outlawed dissent, ethno state. Damn, it's perfect. It's the perfect Nazi Germany. Wow. And San Marco, the Republic of San Marco went free as well. Under Avogadro di Casanova. Like Avogadro's number. Do you guys do chemistry? Anyone here do chemistry? Alright, we got tier 5 tech. Let's grab chemical warfare so we're untouchable. And then maybe stormtroopers as well. Could also go for dread. I guess actually no, let's do dreadnoughts. Let's not rush right for the chemical warfare. Protecting, do you respect the tech tiers? Depends on what I'm trying to do. If I have a rush in mind, like if I have some kind of build where I know that time is sensitive, then I will not. But otherwise, yeah, usually. Let's do tumors inside France. Various separatist movements, one of which is now a Spanish puppet. The story of the Burgundian technocracy continues now that Spain has made them a puppet. Okay, bro. And then Lyon was previously part of the Burgundian separatist movement, but then they struck out on their own. Oh, they're now putting in voting laws too, so I guess liberalism is taking over the previously the true technocrats of France. Dude, Pedro de Braganza is a fucking gigachip. Check it out. He's got meticulous, ambitious, expert political operator, and then we got expert clinical administrator and, well, grifter's not so good, but this guy's sick. The next character is Luis de Braganza, who's already super old, but oh well. I guess it's what we can go conquer Brazil at this point, right? Why don't we just do that? Why don't we just make that the play? With chemical warfare, we will never lose a battle ever again. Quite sure. After chemical warfare, we want to grab macro econ, so you don't have to worry about our company slot going away. And then dynamite would be nice. Okay, yeah, let's go for all this stuff. And then like, I guess cars. I mean, yeah, cars, steam turbines, cars, all that kind of thing. I'm sorry, Brazilians. I'm sorry. We're gassing Rio right now. War crimes? Okay. So our anarchist field marshal leading the charge against Brazil, you know, he's deploying some mustard gas in Goiás, which I was hoping it would be in Rio, but it's okay. Goiás is this one, right? So he's gassing like the Amazon rainforest, I guess, which is just kind of fucked up, bro. Is that bad for the trees? I'm gonna assume that's bad for the trees. But yeah, we're not getting rid of him. Make him a war criminal. Doesn't seem cool. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're the good guys anymore. We may have abandoned that position at this time. A single-party state? Yeah, you know... Look, we were inspired by our friends in Germany, okay? Our very reasonable and normal friends off in Germany. They inspired us with the Volksgemeinschaft. Anyway, Brazil is now tiny. We can probably annex Amazonia and the equator pretty easily later on once the truce is up. We don't want to invade next, right? Egypt, so I want to go for next, right? So let's grab our expeditionary army, and let's go over to Egypt. Single party state, we did it! There it is. So I believe the party is going to just be the intelligentsia. No, it ends up going to the industrialists. Okay, whatever, dude. Sure, if that's what you want. Let's wait for an election to see how the legitimacy goes. There's our war with Egypt, by the way. That's all done. So because we have, like, very powerful Republican industrialists, we could get off of monarchy very easily. But do we want to? I don't know. Not really, I guess. And we're okay with this king because he's got cautious, so he's kind of like legendary in that sense. Also, I should be passing regulatory body. Oh, but unfortunately, the industrialists will not support that. Well, for the election, I guess. Funny how it's the Agrarian Party. Wonder how it chooses the name. That's not Provence. That's Croatia, my dude. It's okay. So this is gotta be the most confusing thing I've ever seen. The nation of Provence. Okay, another technocracy. Positivists have had a lot of power this run. It's a South German nation run by a Croatian guy, whose territory, I believe, their capital is presumably going to be in Provence. Yes, capital in Provence. But they are in like Slavonia, Croatia, and Dalmatia. What are their tolerance laws? They have cultural exclusion. Okay, so they at least don't hate the Croatians too much, but bro, what are you doing here? Like, they're only second-class citizens, but still, that's really funny. I realized I forgot to rename John Holt and Company. Hold on, my bad. Let's go and rename that. My bad, I forgot to rename them. Hold on. Let's give this guy's a name. Better late than never, I guess, right? Looks like it's going to... Oh, okay, Red Sun Cloud. Oh yeah. Enjoy, brother. One of the relatively new members, if I remember right. We call this the Red Sun Cloud Rubber and Logging Goods. There, look at that. Enjoy. Still got John Holt in charge, by the way. Would have been cool if this guy could have become the ruler of the industrialists. But oh well. The ruler of it, I mean the leader of it, I guess. Okay, so after this it's cars, and then part of me just wants to rush for compression ignition, because it is just that good of a tech. Maybe we do that. Our war criminal guy died, by the way, sad. The anarchist war criminal. We'll put in Henrique Paiva Cruzeiro in charge. A Miguelist, dude, the Miguelists are so back. Check that out. Is he loyal? I wonder, can we do a coup? Could we potentially, he's faithful. Like I was gonna say, could we potentially have like a depose the ruling dynasty type of vibe right now? But nah. That would have been really funny. So do I just want to go over 150 to annex Brazil? Part of me says yes. So I will. Screw it. We're only going to be over 100 briefly. It's not like my subjects will be forever disloyal. You know, it does make them quite disloyal. I was going to say, does it even make them disloyal? +2 is quite disloyal. No, you cannot cut me down to size. Now against the Netherlands, regime changing, but no, it's okay. I'm going to just like go for humiliate, I guess. I don't care to fight the Netherlands. I suppose I could take their stuff in Africa, but it's going to be the amount of infamy it'll cost to take those tiny states is so crazy that like I don't want like it's only 3 each, but remember it's each, and there's so many of them here, so it's like no, I'm good, homie. Oh, Spain is in this war. I didn't realize Spain joined the war. Hold on, get the reserves on the front. My bad. Didn't realize Spain was in this war. Oopsies. It's okay. That'll be very easy to repel them. Oh, I don't have. You don't have all of your. I need to put on the mobilization options of this guy. Yeah, hold on. Put all these mobilization options in everybody. You say, why aren't they just instantly winning? They should be winning without any trouble at all. Okay, then the creation of the equator. Annex them as well. We'll wait till we're a bit closer to winning this war against Amazonas. Hey, we're United Kingdom now. Look at that. Luso-Brazilian Congo, Luso-Brazilian Senegal. I don't know what triggered the name to change, but we did it. United Kingdom. Yay! Also, we're in our own market. I guess we also got kicked out of the British market, but we don't have any shortages, so that's good. Yay! United Kingdom. I guess it's based on if you control certain parts of, like, enough of Brazil, you get the name. Now that we're not in a power block with Britain anymore, I wonder how much that hurt their GDP. Let me see. Did that hurt your GDP at all? Oh my god, they dropped like 80 million, whereas I didn't even drop. I didn't even feel it. I guess I wasn't even relying on their economy by this point. I had my own economy going. I genuinely thought it would hurt me quite a bit to leave the British market, but the private industry is probably just building up all the gaps in the market by itself. So that's good. There you go. Bye bye, Egypt. It's nice knowing you, buddy. Now I have control over all that. See, this looks like it's Hearts of Iron 4, because it's United Kingdom, and it controls all of Egypt, but it's not Hearts of Iron 4. It's Victoria 3. Our place in the sun, by the way. Hell yeah. Like, I think it's time to just go, like, full conquest mode, you know? So, I guess I should probably incorporate Brazil. It'll be pretty easy, because we have the same heritage and language. So, yeah, let's do it. It's gonna be a lot of bureaucracy, but that's okay. We are the United Kingdom, after all. We gotta be there for our homies in Brazil. Yeah, this is gonna be a very easy naval invasion. What's the war goal? Conquering the entirety of England plus Wales, grabbing control of South Africa, grabbing the West Africa. I think that's it. Oh, and Canada. Let's don't forget Canada. Because we're the United Kingdom, bro. We're gotta reclaim our United Kingdom. Oh, and the Technate of Burgundy, the puppet of Spain. They've got a communist revolution happening in Corsica. Oh no. By the way, that's the end of Britain right there. Now we have control over all of England. I guess we can incorporate all this too. Sure. Again, it won't take super long because it is a shared heritage. It'll take like 12 years? 13 years, okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, by the time it's done, we'll basically be done the game, but we get the, you know, partial... When you're in the process of incorporating, you get partial effects of everything that your institutions do. So you're still getting something. Also, pool's at half a billion, by the way. I guess all this new territory means now I can make more construction. So that's nice. Let's just go for the war with France. Fuck it. Let's do a reverse William the Conqueror real quick. Did I forget Wales? Did I not incorporate Wales? I did incorporate Wales. Let's go for Normandy. It's D-Day time or something, I don't know. Compression ignition. Okay, now we go crazy style with regards to our mines and our cars and everything. We go absolutely insano mode. And then for other tech, I mean, at this point, tech is not really like a thing to worry about, but how about we do telephones? That way we can get telephones and use those for our bureaucracies. That sounds nice. So I want, basically I just want like your entire country. Take Galicia, take Asturias, take Castilla la Vieja. I do want to make sure that I get El Rif, like Andalusia and Spanish El Rif, so I can get control of the strait. And then Extremadura. I guess I can make a power block as well. So let's do that. Let's make just a sovereign empire. Very simple. Vassalization. We want to call it active. Okay, we need like a good name though. I know it's like the end of the game, so who cares about the name of the thing? But call it like the like Luso-Brazilian Empire. I don't know. Sure, it's simple, but sometimes simple is good though. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of already like this with the earth with like the laurel wreaths around it. There's something actually kind of cool about, like, kind of sick about this. With the scepter, like we're ruling. I guess it's a walking cane, not a scepter, but... Can I do a gun instead? Putting a gun with anything is always funny, right? Sword. Just the globe with the leaves and the gun. The Nando's Empire? That's pretty fun. Yeah, that's an okay name, but too memey. The gun, the planet that shoots you with a gun. We love that. Sure. Okay, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because we're just, you know, doing this for the memes. There, look at that. There's our power block. Woohoo. And there's France capitulating as well. Love that. Because now I can set these guys to the front on the other side with Spain. So there's the end of the war with Spain. Oh my god, it took like basically the whole thing. Jeez. I knew it was going to be that much, but I didn't feel like it was going to be that much. I do want to click the buttons where you release Brazil and release Spain so I can get them as PUs to get the achievement. Because I don't have that achievement. So I'd like to do that. We'll do them at the same time though, so that way it's like we'll finish off the campaign by releasing Spain as a PU, releasing Brazil as a PU, getting that achievement where you play as Portugal, get them both in PUs, and then we'll form Iberia, maybe call it a day. So we have to wait like 5 years to finish off Spain, unfortunately. Also, I can charge tolls now. Check this out. Whoo! India wants to cut me down to size. Good one, buddy. What do I want to do? Do I want to just conquer some pieces of India as well, then? Like, well, we have Goa, right? So what if we just take all of Maharashtra? Like, what if we just say, fuck it, we just take all of this? Yeah, sure. Gujarat, grab Maharashtra. How are let's check on our companies real quick. How are we looking here? So we have the Yankees Fan Portugal Americano Coffee Company with almost $1 million in profits. Very nice. Then we have the Tomok Coffee Transportation Company. Of course, they're meant to synergize with the coffee company with their bonuses. $500,000 or $500,000 almost. Then the Altan Colonial Administration Ministry for the Mozambique Company. We mostly got this for colonial growth, but $250,000 profits. The Mutmer Mineral Management Administration. This is just, you know, a good company. Bunch of, you know, iron mines and all that. They're doing pretty well, 341,000. Then finally the Red Sun Cloud Rubber and Logging Goods Company. Originally John Holt Company. $350,000. Again, plantation throughput bonuses. That's why we grabbed them. Not bad. It's a industrialist Republican, feminist industrialist, moderate Catholic Church, feminist petite bourgeoisie, and ethno-nationalist church. Oh, cool. Puerto Rico's in default. Folks, we know that we're going to win. Can't lose when Puerto Rico's in default. Question is, can I release Spain and Brazil as PUs, like, during the war? Yes, I can. So I can just do it now. Okay. I mean, nothing else I'm doing is going to be me actually taking any land. So I think we're gonna release Brazil and Spain here for an achievement. So here we go. This is basically the end of the run at this point. Okay. So here it comes. Hope you're ready. If we organize Iberian crowns, that creates Spain, and then restore Kingdom of Brazil. That creates Brazil, and then we should, as a result of that, get an achievement: the Most United Kingdom. There it is. Proceed with both Brazil and Spain, and then to top it off, we can go and form Iberia, just to, like, you know, hey, get, you know, another, you know, get rid of Spain now. Boom, United Kingdom. Although I think, do we get renamed, or do we stay as Iberian Union? By the way, Iberian Sunrise, Viva Iberica. There we are. Under King Manuel de Bragança. Beautiful. Now this Brazil is never going to be low because our infamy is insane, but still. Cool to have him around, I guess. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it off. I don't want to do any more of this. I am done now. I don't want to just keep playing this. I guess we could wait and see. I want to do one thing real quick. I'm gonna make a save game. For the thumbnail, I want the tag to be United Kingdom, so I'm gonna reload and autosave, make a separate save, and then reload to this save again, so we can keep playing for a little bit longer. We're gonna see how this fascist coup goes. I don't know, just because maybe it'll be funny, but I doubt anything interesting will happen from it. Then after the fascist coup, we will end the run. The March on Lisbon. So we could authorize them to form a government, halt the coup, or order this man deported. Let's authorize form a government, so we're going to get intelligentsia in. Everyone becomes more radical. And this is probably going to be like no legitimacy, eh? Oh, they just joined the government. Okay, interesting. We actually have a historical fascist. We have Antonio Sardinha. I don't know who this guy is, but some Portuguese fascist, I guess. Yeah, we didn't really have any, like, runaway companies that went crazy hard, but still, pretty good game. Economically, I mean, I don't know, it didn't really matter how we did. We were just kind of focused on the conquests of Africa and stuff. We ramped it up by the end. Took over Brazil, took over Spain and everything, conquered a bunch of stuff, but that's kind of the fate of any relatively good Victoria 3 playthrough, is you eventually go over 100 infamy, and then you just, like, win. But, yeah.
With that, we conclude the Portugal run. Could we have done better? Always. Did we do pretty okay? Yes, I think so. The ability to escape the reign of the Devourers on day 1 makes Portugal a significantly easier nation to play, and makes them very good for a colonial empire, or, as we've seen in my run, just a straight up imperial warmongering state. I did get some luck by being able to join Britain's market, which helped quite a bit with our pace, but it would have been quite possible, I think, to run the nation without their help too. It just would have been a bit slower. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I know, by the way, that the audio was a bit weird in this video, as my microphone stand recently broke, so my mic was just lying down flat on my desk while I was streaming, causing a lot of sounds from my mouse and keyboard to make it into the audio. I've already ordered a new microphone arm to replace the stand, so that issue will be present next time. Thank you for your time.